The New York City subway, famous for rats, grime, and whisking 3.6 million passengers to and even fro every day. Today, one of those passengers is my outside correspondent Amy, who's on a mission. See, most subway trains carry passengers around, but there are others. Special, rare trains that normies never touch but do very important jobs. Amy, for her part, is doing a very unimportant job. Trying to find these elusive trains and get footage we can use on half as interesting because when she emailed the MTA press office, they didn't want to collab. The idea that there are non-passenger trains on the subway is only weird until you think about it for a couple seconds. If you want to take care of the subway, of course you don't want to haul gear around the roads, get it down through the station somehow, then back up after. Better to make trains that can zip station to station and do the job themselves. To that end, a lot of the non-passenger trains in the MTA's rolling stock do rail maintenance. Possibly the coolest one of these is the track geometry car, which Amy is on her way to catch. She'd never seen it before, but saw somewhere that it leaves its home here in Coney Island at 9:59 a.m. on weekdays, so she went there at 9:15 and learned that you can't just walk into the Coney Island MTA yard. So she and her friends split up and waited at each of the two stations the TGC would have to pass through on its way out. But by 10:20, it hadn't, so our motion graphic designers had to make you this TGC from scratch while Amy set out to find other ways to sneak a look into the yard. So what is the TGC? A fully loaded 10-car subway train weighs about 1.3 million pounds, approximately the weight of the entirety of every single MLB team plus 95 elephants, or one of a new species I've come up with called megaphant. Over time, those trains do some damage, deforming the rails, putting them out of alignment, cracking them. The track geometry car carries a small onboard crew to spot these injuries with the help of panoramic cameras mounted in front and underneath the train. Along with the video feed, the TGCs have ultrasonic roller search units to detect cracks, equipment for thermal imaging, and more. It picks up a ton of data to feed analysts in an MTA office somewhere who identify the problems the naked eye couldn't see. Naked eyes, i.e. human track walkers, used to do all the inspections, but now they just do 2 a week, and track geometry cars, with their higher accuracy and number of defects found, trawl continuously during weekday non-rush hours. But that doesn't mean you have a great shot of seeing them. They move so slowly that even running that often, each line of the subway only gets fully covered about 3 times a year for geometry, clearance, and thermal imaging, and 6 times a year for ultrasonic flaw detection. When the track geometry car spots a problem, other trains often fix it. Trains like the rail grinder, which smooths out deformities, the ballast regulator, which is only on the above-ground trains and levels out all these little rocks, and the crane car, which can place new rails when needed. The tracks aren't the only part of the system that needs maintenance, though. There's also, well, everything around them. If you've ever seen a video of a subway station being turned into a water park for pizza rats, you know that the subway has something of a flooding problem. Its drainage system can handle an Oreo cookie diameter of rain per hour. Usually that's good enough. At the time the system was built, the city had never achieved that rate of hourly rainfall. But then it did achieve it in 1991 and a few more times since. When the subway gets flooded, like after Hurricane Sandy, one of the soldiers sent into action is a 6-car pump train capable of removing 1,500 gallons, or over 5,500 liters of rainwater per minute from the system. It then stores that water on board before sending it back to the Hudson or whatever. Flooding is the main weather issue on the underground portion of the subway, but the above-ground portion has a different enemy: snow. For that, there's a whole battalion of trains. Snow throwers that can throw snow 200 feet away, snow blowers with jet engines, de-icers that scrape the rails, and big spinny brush guys. Amy did not see any of these in any of the yards that she checked because she went on her hunt in August. The subway also needs maintenance when the weather is normal, which brings us to the non-passenger subway train you are most likely to see: the materials transport cars. Big flatbeds that carry construction materials or whatever else to and fro. Here's one in Brooklyn. Here's one in Queens. Here's one in Manhattan. Here's the one that goes around at night carrying the trash from all the station trash cans. The non-passenger train you are least likely to see is this one, the money car. It shouldn't really even be in this video because it's retired, but I'm charmed by it, so here we go. Multiple of these ran 6 nights a week from 1951 to 2006. They were often armored-up passenger cars carrying cash and coins from the ticket machines at about 25 to 40 stations per night. One car would hold the money, the other would hold 12 armed MTA agents and a supervisor. They'd go station to station collecting revenue, then bring it to the J Street station, close to where many of the lines meet, take it through this gate and up to a money room. But alas, in 2006, they changed to armored cars in a money room in Maspeth, and with the MetroCard phase-out, they soon won't even need those. We're gonna close out with my favorite, a train that sucks. Introducing the VAC track. It's the real reason Amy went to Coney Island. It's her favorite too, and this is where it lives during the day. It works nights, meaning your best shot at seeing it is when you're half awake after a long night stuck waiting 20 minutes for your train home. The vac track, in short, is a vacuum cleaner. A lot of stuff finds its way onto the subway's precious tracks. Garbage hits the third rail and catches on fire, covers up circuits leading to signal failure, and blocks drains leading to water buildup. All that causes delays, at best, and service outages, smoke-filled tunnels, evacuations, and a well-fed rat population at worst. Something must be done. Enter the vac track. 600 horsepower, ripping speeds of 5 to 10 miles per hour. This baby has big suction hoods to swallow trash into a filter car that holds 14 cubic yards of debris, or about 3 3/4 Toyota Camrys. The vac track operator has screens to watch the track as it gets vacked, and at least one claims that rats don't usually get sucked in. It empties out every day in one of 3 places, 2 in the Bronx, 1 in Brooklyn. Vac tracks have only ridden New York City's rails since 2018, and while there were vacuum trains before that, they would have to take 2 or 3 passes through a station to achieve what the vac track does in just 1. This increased efficiency means that the vac track doesn't interrupt passenger service, and within their first few months of service, debris and fire-related delays were down by half. Perhaps that's why they're also used in Paris, London, and Brussels. They're really good. Now, Amy tried to see the vac track at Coney Island, but no matter which way she passed the yard, she couldn't find it. Though seemingly this might be the old one? Who's to say? My point is, her trip to Coney Island was completely worthless, except for the side quest to the aquarium. So if she vac track level sucks at this and the MTA didn't want to help, where's our footage from? Well, about a month before we made this video, she texted about 60 people offering a snack in exchange for footage of the vac track or its cousins in the wild, and they delivered. So let that be a lesson. If you want to see cool special subway trains, you can't rely on going to the place they're supposed to be when they're supposed to be there. You must rely on the power of friendship. And hey, if you're waiting for the subway or a bus or brushing your teeth or whatever, you could watch a bunch of TikToks until your brain explodes, or you could have fun and get smarter with the help of this video's sponsor, Brilliant.org. Brilliant is the best way to learn math and science on your own time. It's built for the busy. Their lessons take just 15 minutes or less, they're super interactive and visual, and they make even the trickiest subjects intuitive, whether you're natural or not. And I'll admit, I'm not. I always struggled with math in school, but I love Brilliant. They have this really cool course on AI, breaking down things like how large language models are trained and how they break down the text they're fed into data that they can actually work with. As AI tools become more and more a part of our lives, I really appreciate getting an understanding of how they work, and therefore why, despite appearances, they might not be a very good best friend for you. So, know thy enemy, learn thy math, prepare for thy midterms. Whatever your goals are, Brilliant is there to help. So click the link in the description to get a free trial of Brilliant and 20% off an annual premium subscription.